Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to Giangelo's for the South Range Coaches Corner and the South Range Raiders Show. Another packed restaurant here at Giangelo's. Everybody wants to see the burgundy and gold. Everybody clad in burgundy and gold. And we are here with the 4-0 head coach of the South Range Raiders, Mr. Dave Rach. Buddy, this has got to be nice to look out into the masses of people here, see burgundy and gold everywhere you look, supporting this community, supporting this team, and certainly for the fifth week in a row, we are going to see a lot of people in that Rominger Stadium. What does it feel like to have this support? I know we talk about the community a lot, but for you to have this support consistently every single week and to have them at home for 6 weeks, got to feel pretty good.
No, for sure. I mean, it's definitely humbling. I think, even when we're on the road, not that we've been on the road yet this year, but even when we are on the road, it feels like, we carry home field advantage with us, and it's always cool. I know our kids get excited, our coaches get excited, on Friday nights to see all the support from our community and all their families up there. So it's definitely special to be a Raider. 4
weeks, we've seen the Raiders play. 4 weeks, we've seen that clock go a little bit faster in the second half. What's that say about your guys?
Just that I think that, their attention to detail throughout the week, I think allows them to prepare in a way that gives us a great chance on a Friday night. I think, talking about the running clocks, you have to be playing great offense, great defense, and great special teams to be able to do that consistently. And then, a lot of times when the game's kind of in hand, you end up subbing guys in and working some younger kids in. And just the way that they're able to come in and still execute at a high level, I think, is a credit to the way those guys are working and to the leadership that our seniors are providing in terms of showing them the way.
You and I each week have seen this team progress, and I think after last week, we saw the biggest step that you've taken yet. Everybody talks about the biggest difference is week 1 into week 2. I think week 3 into week 4 was your guys' biggest kind of step forward. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. I think, what's been encouraging to me is that I think we've gotten better, each week.
Yeah.
And we're a lot different now than we were, in the scrimmages or week 1 or 2 or 3. So I think, again, it's a credit to our kids, a credit to the assistant coaches for, working on the right things and trying to get as much as we can cleaned up and executed at a higher level. But, at the end of the day, I think, our kids understand the importance of taking each day really seriously and treating it as an opportunity to improve.
Friday night was an emotional night for a bunch of different reasons. It was a pink out for Ann Myers. You saw that what was going on the field. Opening night in the NE8.
Yeah.
I mean, across YSN, all eyes were on NE8. It showed in the stats. It showed in the ratings. But a lot of people wondering what South Range was going to have to bring to the table against Lakeview and vice versa. What did you learn about your team on Friday night that maybe you didn't know about them going into the game?
I thought Friday night, anytime you get into NE8 play, I think there's some unknowns, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's really matched up with a lot of common opponents yet, so you're not entirely sure what everybody has. But what I learned about us, I thought, that was the first game that I felt like we really put it together in all 3 phases of the game consistently for the whole night. And, Lakeview, I think, was the toughest team we've played so far in terms of what they were asking of us, stylistically and physically. And I thought our kids answered the bell there and did a great job just remaining poised and patient and plugging away.
Take a 10-0 lead, and then all of a sudden they have this little dump-off pass to one of the best players on Lakeview, maybe even in the league, and he takes it to the house, 83 yards. Before you could blink, it's a 10-7 ball game. How did you adjust after that to make sure that didn't happen again? Because it looked like they were setting it up to go back to it.
Yeah, I think we settled in. The kids were poised. We kind of identified what went wrong. If I'm being honest, probably the biggest error on that play was on me. I heard a check that we made, and I probably should have said something. I knew that I hadn't communicated it properly, and so. But we got it cleaned up. The kids did a great job of handling the adversity, and they just kept plugging away.
I mean, it had the feels, and I don't want to take us back to 22 again, but it had the feels of Ironton a little bit, where it was like a prize fighter that got hit in the jaw and it woke him up, yeah. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, that was all they had. 38-7 victory over Lakeview, which I think in 6 weeks looks a lot better. You know what I mean? Because I think that to your point, I think Lakeview is going to be a lot better than people have in their minds. A lot of people watching that game. A lot of people watching the Struthers-Girard game, which Struthers ended up winning comeback style. Girard obviously better than people thought they were going to be. Did you looked at that film.
Yeah.
What did you see about Struthers that really kind of piqued your interest?
Well, I think, not that it was surprising, but, when you turn the film on, you can see right away some of the challenges they present. They're very physically talented. I think they're big. They're really big. The skill kids are good. They're well coached. They do a lot of good things. And at the end of the day, I think they're probably more similar to us than they're not in terms of, they want to run the football and be physical and play good defense. And so I don't think anything was surprising based on what we saw. But clearly they're one of the better teams in the area, and we're going to have to play a great game on Friday.
Well coached, Coach Bayek. You talk about what he has and who he has on his staff. Is it a chess match on Friday? I mean, a guy that has the weapons, they're big. I mean, there's no getting around it. They are big, one of the biggest teams you'll play. But we've also heard, and I'm sure you've heard, there is kind of a dark cloud hanging over Struthers right now because there's a question mark at quarterback. One of their quarterback is Jason Duke's hurt. We don't know when he's coming back. You hate to play the speculation game, but he's a difference maker, a game changer in that lineup. How do you prepare for that and prepare for the unknown?
First of all, anytime there's a kid that's banged up, you hope the best for him. So we hope he, if he's not healthy right now or this Friday, we hope he gets healthy as soon as possible. But, I think you have to go into it assuming that, they're going to be at full strength. You try to see what adjustments they may or may not make, based on whether he is or isn't playing. But, at the end of the day, we've got to line up the formations, and we've got to be able to play great football, get 11 hats to the ball, and swarm and tackle at a high level and protect the ball. So, I think a lot of your decisions are based on personnel, right? But, I think for us, we're trying to do as much as we can to put our guys in the best spots possible, in terms of getting lined up and playing with great technique.
The last 2 years, this program has seen a ton of success. The one constant kind of jab in the side has always been Struthers. Do you have to get the guys mentally prepared for this game? Is it hard to have them lock in? They're hearing the same things we hear. They're on the message boards. They see all this stuff. Is it hard to get them locked in and understand that this is possibly the biggest game in the state of Ohio this Friday night?
No, our kids understand what's at stake, every week in the NE8. So I think the biggest challenge for us is just trying to make sure that we're being patient throughout the week and really focusing on the day-to-day operational stuff, in a way that gives us a chance to go play great on Friday. Obviously, Friday will be full of emotion. So, leading up to that, we're trying to kind of, tamp that down a little bit and just make sure that we're focused on handling the stuff that we can control and making sure that we're getting as many, mental adjustments cleaned up as possible.
It's very easy to sit here and talk about your great offense that puts up a ton of points. It's great, to talk about the other side, the defense that holds everybody away. But that special teams has been exactly that. They've been special this year. You talk about record-breaking opportunities and moments for them. You talk about just the execution of the snap, the hold, and the kick. And not only that, but the kickoff and the kickoff coverage and the kickoff returns that we talk about weekly. For a coach sitting here going into week 5, to be able to rely on special teams, how much more of a wagon does that make this South Range team?
Well, I think any team that is playing, really good special teams is tough to defend just because they can flip the field so quickly. They're more times than not going to win, the battle of hidden yardage, if you will, and those are explosive plays. A 45-yard punt is an explosive play. Being able to kick a field goal from 42 or 45 yards, those are explosive plays that turn a one-possession game into a two-score game. And we've been spoiled thus far where we've been able to kind of, I think, break some games open, because of our special teams, and it's something we work hard on, and we're going to have to continue to have success on special teams if we want to keep on, finding success, especially in the NE8 against really good teams.
I'm going to make you show your cards a little bit because it's a question I've had since Friday. I'm going to ask Luke the same thing. That boot that he had from 42 was probably good from 55, 58 yards.
Yeah.
As a head coach, how do you decipher when you're going to send old 55 out on the field for a three-point try?
Well, it's interesting. Last week there was no hesitation with me. I felt really good about him on the 45-yarder, and I knew that it would make it a two-score game. And then just the way it shook out, I probably should have sent him out when we were up. We were up 10 at one point, and I thought, what's the difference between being up 10 and being up 13? I felt like it was still a two-score game. And I felt like, the chance of scoring a touchdown there makes it a three-point game and maybe makes it a different ball game. So you hate to, pass up on points any chance that you have them. I probably got overly greedy thinking we could make it a three-score game maybe sooner than what it deserved to be a three-score game. But as far as if we can make it a two-score game with him kicking a 45-yarder, I'll send him out there all night. I feel really good about him doing that.
Or can we talk about 50? Can we talk about 55? Can we talk about 60, 65?
You know what?
71.
We have him. We have a pretty good idea where he's good from. And I'll tell you what, though, when it starts getting to the fringe there, I'm probably more inclined to kind of ask Luke what he thinks. And he's really good about saying, hey, I feel good about this, or I don't feel good about it. So, but we have a pretty good idea as to where he's at.
I want to see him kicking from the logo. That's what I want to see. From dead on the South Range flag, I want to see Starkey kick one from there.
Yeah.
I'll go berserk. I might jump out that window.
Yeah, right.
There we go. There we go. We'll give him a shot, right?
Yeah, you're right.
I'll pressure you into it.
No, we can take a swing at it.
For you, Struthers, always a great matchup. A lot of people going to be watching this game. A lot of people going to be at this game. It is the must-see stream. It is the must-have ticket. The pressures that come along with that. I mean, obviously you guys play a lot of big games. You've been in a lot of big games in the last 2, 3, 7 years.
Yeah.
How do you treat this one different?
Like you said, I mean, our guys have been in a lot of big games. You know, everybody on the staff's been in a big game. You know, our community's been around big games. So, you know, I try not to think of it as a lot of pressure. I mean, our guys work so hard, so hard for 350 plus days out of the year to go out and have 10 guaranteed opportunities to go have fun and turn it loose. So, we really try hard to just tell them go out and have fun and turn it loose on a Friday night and don't feel like there's any pressure. You know, try to play fast and loose and relaxed and play for the guy next to you and see what happens.
All right, let's take it off the field for our last question. I don't think I've asked you this one yet. A lot of game shows out there, a lot of reality TV.
I'm already worried. I don't watch TV really.
If you could host any game show or be on any reality television show, past or present, what would it be? And why? And you've got to be able to compete.
Oh, I have to be a competitor?
You're a competitor, or you're a host of a game show.
Well, I can't compete. If I would take Vanna White's job, but
Just
I
touching
can't compete.
the letters?
Yeah, I had a crush on her. Well, forever.
How do you look in a dress?
Not like her. Yeah, no. But no, I would say if I was going to play on a game show, I would play probably The Price is Right. I always wanted to play Plinko growing up.
Plinko?
Yeah, that was my favorite, where they drop it in, and thought that was cool, and be cool to spin the wheel and see.
Okay, so if you're playing Plinko, if you're playing Price is Right, you get into the Showcase Showdown.
Uh-huh.
You're spinning that big wheel.
Yeah.
First spin, you get 90 cents. You spin it again?
No, it's
Oh!
percentages. No way.
Luke, you got no shot at kicking from 50 yards. None. He doesn't want to roll the dice. He wants to play it safe.
His chances from 50 yards are way better than 10%, which are what my odds would be if I already
Oh,
had 90.
all right.
So he can swing at that one.
The Yeagley Academy has taught you the school of mathematics. I can appreciate that. All right. What about 80 cents? 80 cents? 75 cents? Are you spinning again?
What's my opponent?
You're the
on?
first. You're the first. You're going first.
No, I'm still. No, I'm gonna hold.
You're holding. 75 cents he's holding. Ladies and gentlemen, the head ball coach of the South Range Raiders, Dave Rock. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Thank you.